morning, guys. It's March 24th. We had a hell of a rainstorm yesterday. We got close to 3 inches of rain all day yesterday. Rained from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. 35 degrees was the high. And then at 7 at night, the rain stopped and it dropped to 19 degrees and we had 30-mile-an-hour winds. So these poor girls were cold. They were not happy. I came down here this morning to check on them, and this bale is just froze solid. I can't even move this thing, the feeder, because it's all froze together. So luckily it's still hard out. The ground's still hard this morning because it's froze. So I got the tractor down here so I can rip this feeder off so I can give them that other bale, because this is just a chunk of ice. Yeah, so luckily they survived, because it was brutal. I went out last night at 4 o'clock to check on them, and they were all up in my corral up at the top of the hill there. I'll show you. And there's a couple of them, they were shivering, and I ended up giving them a bale up in that corral. It's all wood chips, so it was nice and dry. So they found the dry spot, and they demolished that bale overnight. They were cold. I'm gonna get this moved here, and then I'll get back to you. Yeah, so this is the hay feeder. I tried to move it by hand earlier, and I was like, there is no way. So I gotta try and shake that out, shake the hay out of that feeder. Maybe I'll spread it around, let them just clean that up for the day, and then tonight, this afternoon, I'll give them that bale. But she is froze and solid. All right. Got the bale feeder moved. I actually moved it up the hill. It's quite a steep incline from down there where the bale was till up here. So I figured that if the tractor was here, I would just bring the feeder up here that way. Otherwise, I would have to roll it uphill. So I can feed those 4 bales and then roll it down to that last one. I thought that this hay would last me till I could start grazing, but the forecast looks pretty cold. There's about 15 days worth of hay out here, so I might have to feed a couple more, which is fine. I got plenty. Yeah, the conditions last night were probably the worst that you could get. 35 degrees, rained all day, then changed to 19 as a low, and windy as hell. It was terrible. Thank God we didn't have any calves. I was hoping, praying that we wouldn't have any early calves. It's supposed to start calving April 10th, so I would figure, a week or 2 earlier than that could possibly have one. And luckily we did not, because that poor calf would probably not have made it. But they're all dried off right now, and they seem happy. They don't seem these girls have been standing in this one spot for about a half an hour, just getting warmed up from the sun. Poor girls. They must have been freezing last night. So I just spread this bale out, because as you saw, it was just solid. It's a chunk of ice. And they're picking through it. They're happy. They're not bellowing at me, so I'll let them eat this till noon, or maybe they'll last till 4 o'clock this afternoon, and then I'll give them a bale up there. Everyone's satisfied though. So that was quite the rainstorm. Like I said, we got 2.8 inches, and we've had a lot of rain this year, a lot of rain last year. I'm not gonna complain. And give it 2 weeks, it'll dry right up. So long as you have the right setup and leave plenty of ground cover so the water can infiltrate, not create mud, it's fine. I mean, granted, there's only 10 animals on probably 1.5 acres here, but there's no mud anywhere. I mean, you can't even tell we had 3 inches of rain compared to, I'm sure you go to other farms, the whole lot is probably just mud. But again, I only have 10 animals here, so if I had 30 animals, it'd be a different story. In one spot, but then you would just, let's say this got kind of mudded up, you would just give them, you got a plan for that, you move them to the next area and get them out of the mud. So they're happy picking away, they're happy. It's supposed to be real sunny today and tomorrow, not supposed to be too warm, but the sun they will enjoy that. I'll go up and show you where I fed them last night. They demolished. I put a bale out and they just ate about 3/4 of it in 12 hours. So this is the corral. They were all up here yesterday afternoon, I believe, because it's all wood chips that I put down and they've never really been in here too much. So it's all nice and dry, as you can see. I mean, there's no pugging. It wasn't muddy or anything. So they were all up here and they were like, you know, when a dog knows it did something wrong and it's got its tail between its legs and its head down low. They were all up here like that. I mean, they were miserable. And the hay, I mean, they had plenty of hay down there that wasn't froze yet, but for whatever reason, they must have wanted to be up here out of the mud, and they were not happy. So I felt bad, and I put a bale out last night here in 12 hours. I mean, there's probably 25% left. It should have lasted them 3 days normally. That's how cold it was, or how cold they were. They were hungry. So I feel, at first I wasn't gonna put anything out because I was like, well, they got another day's worth of hay down there. But oh, I'm glad I did, because they sure needed it. I've never seen them eat a bale this fast ever. We had temperatures last year that was 13 below and windy, and they were fine. They didn't eat a bale this fast. So that's about it. That's the worst conditions you could possibly get, I think. It wasn't like it was raining for a couple hours. I mean, it rained all day, 35 degrees. They just had no insulation value in their coat. They were cold. So I guess that's about it. Wish we get some warmer weather, because I mean the grass grew a lot, as you can see all the green out there. But I mean, the 10-day forecast it's not gonna grow much grass. So which is what it is. Can't complain. All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.